Welcome friends. In today's video, we are redriving into the fascinating world of the USA coinage. In the world of American coinage, few coins command the attention, nostalgia, and value like the Liberty quarter dollar. Struck over different periods, between the 18th and 20th centuries, these coins carry with them the symbolic representation of the nation's ideals, liberty, independence, and justice. While modern quarters depict George Washington, the Liberty quarters predate this design and were struck in various forms from 1796 to 1930. These coins are highly sought after by collectors due to their historical significance, low mintages, and rarity in high-grade uncirculated conditions. The 1980 quarter bears the word Liberty prominently across the top of the obverse front side bust. Many people refer to it informally as a Liberty quarter. Struck during the heart of the Cold War era and economic turbulence in the United States, the 1980 quarter represents a transitional period in U.S. coinage. While it may not yet be considered rare or highly valuable in circulation, uncirculated and error examples can be of interest to collectors. The quarter dollar coin underwent a major redesign in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Sculptor John Flanagan was chosen to design the coin, and his depiction of Washington remains in use largely unchanged through the end of the 20th century. Bust of George Washington, inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 1980, bald eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches below inscriptions. United States of America, E. Unum, and quarter dollar. This reverse design lasted from 1932 until 1998. Just before the 50-state quarters program began in 1999. Presidency, Jimmy Carter. Outgoing, Ronald Reagan, elected in November 1980. Economy, high inflation and unemployment, stagflation-era Cold War tensions, heightened between the U.S. and USSR. Cultural note, the coin was struck just before a major shift in American economic policy and global influence. This coin circulated during a critical moment in U.S. history and has nostalgic value for those who remember the era. The 1980 quarter was struck at 3 U.S. mints, each identifiable by its mint mark, located on the obverse to the right of Washington's ponytail. Mint location: mint. Mark mintage volume Philadelphia. No mark 635 millones. 832,000 Denver. 51832 74887. Franciscus 3, 554,806. Proof only Philadelphia, no mint mark. The highest production of the year, Denver D. A large run typical of general circulation needs San Francisco S. Only produced proof coins in 1980. Intended for collector's material, clad composition outer, layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Bonded to a pure copper core weight, 5.67 grams diameter, 24.26 millimeters edge. Reeded non-silver, unlike PRE 1965 quarters. These contain no silver. The 1980 coin represents the modern era of coinage, where precious metals were phased out for cost efficiency. While hundreds of millions were made, condition plays a key role in value for collectors. Found in pocket change, wear on Washington's hair, cheek, and the eagle's feathers. Value, face value, 25 cents. 2.35 cents depending on condition. Never used. Full mint luster, often found in rolls, mint sets, or sealed bags graded on the Sheldon scale from MS60 to MS70. Value, typically $1, $10, depending on grade and mint mark. 1980s quarters were specially struck for collectors' mirror-like surfaces. Frosted devices sold in proof sets only. Value, $2 to $5 depending on condition. Though 1980 isn't a particularly rare year, error coins and high-grade examples can be worth more. Off-center strikes, double dies, DDO clipped planches, filled dies, weak or missing letters. Some of these errors can fetch $50, $500 or more depending on severity and condition. The 1980 quarter is not considered rare today, but it plays a role in modern U.S. coin collecting. Great for typesets, entry-level coin for new collectors, cheap in bulk. Fun for roll searching, only MS67 plus graded coins from professional grading. Services like PCGS or NGC begin to approach higher values, sometimes $100, $300. But these are relatively rare due to the large mint runs and quality control of the era. The 1980 Liberty quarter, while common in circulation, represents a fascinating period in American coinage. As part of the long-running Washington quarter series, it balances traditional patriotic imagery with modern minting materials and mass production. Though it is not a coin of great intrinsic value today, it carries historical importance, collector interest in proof and error varieties, and nostalgic value for many Americans who grew up using it. Featured at Helsiverse George Washington with Liberty reverse eagle with outstretched wings mints Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco Melcarnicle clad total mintage over 1.15 billion. Face value, 25 cents. Uncirculated value, $1 to $10 plus proof value, $2, $5 key collector items errors, MS67 plus. 198 proof. The 1987 U.S. quarter dollar, commonly known as the Washington quarter, prominently displays the word liberty on its obverse. Although not officially named the Liberty Quarter, many collectors refer to it that way because of this inscription, issued as part of the regular circulating coinage of the United States. The 1987 quarter is a modern-era coin and features a design that had been in place since 1932, honoring America's first president, George Washington. Despite its high mint, this coin has historical significance as part of the Reagan-era economy, with certain versions like proof coins and conditions like mint state 67+. Attracting collector attention today, President Ronald Reagan events, U.S. stock market crash known as Black Monday, heightened Cold War diplomacy with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, focus on deregulation, tax reform, and strong military presence. Stable national designs. Washington quarter had not yet been replaced, an economy transitioning into consumer capitalism and globalization, increasing interest in collectible proof and mint sets. Portrait, George Washington, profile facing left. Inscriptions, Liberty across the top, In God We Trust. To the left, 1987, at the bottom, mint mark. To the right of Washington's ponytail P, D, or S designer, John Flanagan, original 1932 design, an American bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, olive branches below United States of America, across the top E pluribus unum beneath the eagle quarter dollar, across the bottom. This reverse remained unchanged from 1932 until 1998. Making 1987 part of the long-standing classic era of the Washington quarter. Mark mintage Notes Philadelphia No. Mark 582,499,481 most common. Version Denver D655, 594,696 also for general circulations. San Francisco's 4,227,728. Proof only sold in U.S. mint proof sets. Only the San Francisco S mint coins were never released into circulation. These were specially made proof coins with mirrored backgrounds and frosted images, packaged and sold to collectors. Outer layers, 75% copper, 25% nickel core, 100% copper weight, 5.67 grams diameter, 24.26 millimeters. Edge, reeded grooved note. Quarters after 1964 contain no silver, making their base metal value low. Widespread availability, heavy wear likely value, 25 cents, face value to 35 cents, depending on condition. Common and change rolls, coins that were never used, with full mint luster and no wear. Grade description estimated value, MC60 entry, mint state tilde, $1 OOM, 65 collector quality, $5.008 OOMs, 67 plus scarce, high grade $3,150 plus third party grading by PCGS or NGC. Required for top values. Denver D and Philadelphia coins both have value in MS67+. Made for collectors with superior strike and finish mirror-like fields. Frosted raised designs value, $2 to $6 depending on condition. Although the 1987 Liberty Quarter isn't considered rare, it remains collectible for completing date. Mint sets 1932 to 1998 proof set collecting graded. High mint state examples. Some error types to look for on 1987 quarters. Error type description potential value off center, strike parsha, design missing $50 $200 plus. Double die obverse doubling, on Liberty or In God We Trust. $100 plus clipped planchetrescent shaped metal, missing $20 $75 die cracks or cuds raised lines, or blobs from worn dies $5 $50. These errors can add collector appeal and are typically found through careful roll searching or purchase from reputable dealers. Aspect outlook metal value only face value, no silver content. Collector value low to moderate unless MS67+. Proof error value depends on rarity and severitel. Long-term potential moderate. Tied to grading, rarity of condition, tip, store uncirculated, or proof examples in protective holders to preserve value, though often overlooked as a common coin. The 1987 Liberty Quarter tells an important story of America's economic and political resilience during the 1980s. It's part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, which symbolizes the strength and ideals of the U.S. With liberty boldly emblazoned across every obverse, it may not be rare in everyday terms, but it offers value to collectors through high-grade preservation proof set collecting era variety hunting. Historical context in modern U.S. coinage. Quick facts summary. 1987 Liberty Quarter featured. It tells type of Washington Quarter, averse George Washington. Liberty above reverse eagle with arrows and olive branch. Ismetalker nickel cladman speed D. S total mintage 1.24 plus billion. Circulated value 25 cents uncirculated. Value $1 $150, MS67 plus proof value, $2 $6 error, coins up to $200 plus. The 1967 Liberty Quarter dollar, officially a Washington quarter, is a U.S. coin bearing the iconic portrait of George Washington. The The word Liberty appears prominently above his head, and for this reason, many people refer to it as a Liberty quarter. While the coin is not rare in circulated condition, its historical context and connection to a major shift in U.S. coinage policy make it noteworthy. It is a product of the Coinage Act of 1955, which eliminated silver from circulating dimes and quarters, marking the end of silver coinage for the general public. Year 1967, President Lyndon B. Johnson. Major events. Vietnam War intensifies. Civil rights movement marches on. The Summer of Love begins in San Francisco. The U.S. was facing a coin shortage due to rising silver prices. People were hoarding silver coins, dimes, quarters, and half dollars. In response, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, removing silver from dimes and quarters entirely. Key impact. The 1967 quarter is made of copper nickel clad, not silver. It's part of the first wave of fully clad quarters. 1965 present. Portrait. George Washington, first U.S. President. Inscriptions. Liberty, across the top. In God We Trust. Left side 1967. Bottom center designer, John Flanagan, whose design debuted in 1932. Design, an eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows and framed by olive branches. United States of America, e pluribus unum $quarter. This design remained in use until 1998, making it one of the most familiar images in U.S. coinage. No mint marks were used in 1967. Why? To discourage coin collecting during a coin shortage, and to ensure coins remained in circulation. So even though quarters were minted at multiple facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, none bear APD or S mint mark in 1967 total. Produced 1,524,031,848 over 1.5 billion coins. This massive number reflects the U.S. government's efforts to flood the market with coins after the silver hoarding crisis. Value coprioches nickel-clad 75% Cu, 25% Ni corpure, copper diameter, 24.26 mm weight 5.67 grams edge reeded grooved. Mint mark none by law for 1967 only. Silver content 0%, no silver condition. Greatest value USD good G. Heavy wear 25 cents. Face value, very fine VF moderate, wear $0. 30 extremely fine XF light, where 40 cents. Key point. Circulated 1967. Quarters are extremely common and usually only worth face value. Uncirculated coins are coins that were never used in commerce. They retain full luster and sharp detail. Grade description approx. Value SDMS 60, entry level uncirculated. $1, OOMs 65 collector grade. Luster $4, $8, Ms 67 plus. Scarce. High-end condition, $50, $200 plus PCGS and NGC. Have certified a small number of MS68 coins, and these have sold for over $1,000 at auction due to rarity in such pristine condition. In 1965, 1967, the U.S. Mint did not produce proof sets, but instead made special mint sets, SMS, which included higher quality strikes with a satin finish. Feature SMS quarters 1967, struck in San Francisco. Appearance sharper detail. Satin-like surface value $2, $10 depending on quality. SMS sets sold, 1.8 million sets cameo, and deep cameo SMS coins, with strong contrast between the frosted design and mirror background can be worth $20, $75 plus, depending on grading, though mint marks and traditional varieties are absent in 1967. Some mint errors are known. Error type description value range USD off center. Strike part of design is missing $25, $150 plus. Double die rare doubling on date, or letters $50, $300 plus. Clipped planchetrescent shaped metal missing $10, 75 SMS arrows SMS coins. Struck on wrong planchettes $100, $500 plus. These errors are relatively uncommon and highly collectible, not in general circulation. Over 1.5 billion were struck, and most are worth only face value. Yes, but mainly if it's in very high grade MS67 or higher, it's a cameo or deep cameo. SMS, it features a mint error circulated ones, not necessary unless nostalgic or for teaching collection. Uncirculated, MS graded ones, worth saving. If in high quality, SMS coins, valuable for collectors completing 1960s sets, the 1967 Liberty Quarter represents a pivotal moment in American numismatics. The transition away from silver, an economic strategy to prevent coin hoarding, a time of social transformation and global uncertainty, though not rare in circulation. It holds historic value. Collectors may seek out SMS examples, high-grade uncirculated coins, or error varieties as part of a full Washington quarter collection, or as a representation of mid-20th century American policy and design. Feature details type Washington quarter obverse design. George Washington plus Liberty reverse. Design to go with arrows and olive branch mint mark none, not used in 1967. Mintage 1.5 plus billion composite in conical clad circulated value, 25 cents. Face value, uncirculated. Value $1, $200 plus SMEs value, $2.75 plus key interest SMEs high MS grades. Era coins. The term Liberty quarter often refers to any $quarter coin bearing the inscription Liberty, a feature seen on all U.S. quarters since their inception. In this case, we're referring specifically to the 1973 Washington quarter, which is part of the series that began in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. Even though the 1973 quarter is not made of silver or particularly rare in circulated form, it carries historical and collector value, especially in uncirculated or proof condition, or if it features a mint-era president, Richard Nixon, who would resign the next year due to Watergate major events. End of direct. U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War oil crisis begins with OPEC. Embargo Roe v. Wade is decided by the U.S. Supreme Court. The Watergate scandal gains momentum. US coinage had fully transitioned to copper-nickel-clad coins by 1973. Silver quarters were discontinued after 1964. 1973 marks a period of stable design, with millions of quarters struck for everyday use. Portrait, George Washington profile, facing left inscriptions, Liberty across the top, In God We Trust, on the left side. 1973, at the bottom mint mark to the right of Washington's ponytail, if applicable. Designer, John Flanagan. Sculptor of the original. 1932, design, a bald eagle with wings spread, clutching arrows, framed by olive branches. United States of America, E pluribus, unum $quarter. This reverse design remained in use until 1998, when it was replaced by the 50-state quarters program. The 1973 Liberty quarter was struck at 3 major U.S. mints. Mint location, mint mark, mintage quantity, Notes Philadelphia, no mark. 346,924,000, no mint mark. Used Denver D232, 977,400, mint mark D cent. Francisco's 2, 760,339 proof. Only available in proof sets. Found on the obverse front of the coin right side of Washington's ponytail. Above the 3 in 1973 fage, 25% Nikkor pure copper weight, 5.67 grams diameter, 24.26 amadreated, grooved, silver content 0%. Important note: no quarters dated 1973 were struck with silver. All are clad. Gray description. Estimated value good. G heavy wear, 25 cents. Face value. Fine F, moderate wear, $0, 30 extremely fine XF light wear. Details visible. $0.40. These are extremely common and usually hold only face value. Gray description. Estimated value M60. Entry level uncirculated. $1, 50 Ms 65 collector grade sharpness. $5.0, $10. OOMs 67 plus. Scarce, nearly flawless coin. $40, $150 plus. Only a small number of MS 67 plus. 1973 quarters have been certified by PCGS and NGC, and these command premium prices due to their pristine condition. Feature of volume are like fields. Frosted raised designs. Mintage 2,760. PC value $2, $6 depending on grade. Deep cameo higher value $20 plus. These were never intended for circulation and were sold in U.S. mint proof sets. Although 1973 was not a particularly notorious year for era coins, collectors have discovered and pursued a few notable varieties. Era type description. Value, range of center strike part of the design, missing from planchette. $20, $150 plus. Clipped planchette Tresson shaped clip-on coin. Edge $10, $50 double die obverse doubling on lettering or date rare. $50, $200 plus. Die breaks, cuds, bumps or blobs due to broken dies. $5, $75 if you suspect an era coin. Having it graded or authenticated by PCGS or NGC is recommended. In circulation? No, it's very common. In mint condition, scarcer, particularly MS 67 plus grades. As proof, desirable, especially deep cameo examples. Condition collectability investment potential. Circulated low face value, uncirculated MS 67 plus moderate. 2 high scarce grades. Proof deep cameo, moderate terror. Varieties moderate to high depends on rarity. The 1973 Liberty $quarter coin is more than a piece of change. It's a snapshot of America in a year of economic pressure and political tension. Though it may not contain silver or rare minting techniques, it offers a solid representation of 20th century American coin design collectability in high grades. Proofs and errors. Historical value for those studying the evolution of U.S. coinage. For coin collectors, it plays an important role in completing Washington quarter. Year sets 1932 to 1998 and offers a tangible connection to an era of change. Feature details. Coin name 1973 Washington Liberty quarter mint mark. Snow mint mark, Philadelphia. D. Composition copper nickel clad mintage over 582 million PD. 2.7 million S circulated value 25 cents. 40 cents uncirculated value $1. $150 plus proof value $2. $20 plus deep cameo silver content, non-collectible varieties MS67 plus, proof,